What's going on, everybody? Andrew here for the Hot Sauce Underground Barbecue Sauce Masters competition. Tonight I'm going to be reviewing a sauce sent to me by Mr. Bush Taylor. This is his Sweet Chipotle BBQ. As you can see, it's a nice brown color, almost a brownish red, and you can kind of see how it looks in the bottle there. It's got a really good consistency. As y'all know, I'll be judging on 5 different criteria, technically 4, and then an overall product. So we're going to first start with the visual and the consistency. We'll move on to aroma, flavor, we'll discuss the heat level, and then I'll discuss the overall product, and then I'll give you the total score at the end. Each category is judged out of 10. I'll go ahead and pour some out for you so you can see how it pours. As you can see, it's a nice smooth consistency. It has a nice pour to it. I'll be using this to dip into later once I taste the wings, and I'll kind of go into that as we go into the flavor portion. Just to show you a little bit better color of the sauce. It's a little bit of brown. You can see some of the chunks there inside of the sauce. So it's got a few different ingredients. I'll read those off for you now because you can kind of see a few of them in the sauce itself. It contains ketchup, brown sugar, pineapple puree, sugar, prepared mustard, chipotle peppers, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, lemon juice, garlic powder, onion powder, ginger, orange extract, and a variety of different spices. So the visual and consistency is right like what I would see and want to see for a standard Kansas City sweet style barbecue sauce. There's a nice viscosity, a nice shine to it. And then as you spin it around in the glass, you can see how it coats the sides really nicely. And then I also prepared 2 wings, a drumstick, and then the little wing section. You can see how it coated the wings very nicely. Essentially what I did was I baked them at 400 degrees for 40 minutes. Halfway through I tossed them, and then I basted as well. It has a nice shine. It coated the meat very well, and I believe it'll provide a good flavor there. So for visual, how it looks what I would expect to see from this variety of sauce. You can see some of the ingredients and the spices in the sauce itself. You can see the chili peppers, the chipotle, and then some of the spices. And then it's got a good consistency when it coats the side of the bowl. It also coated the meat very well in cooking. So I would give it, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 for consistency. I have a little notebook here that I'm making notes in. As I noted before, it's got a smooth, you can see the smooth consistency in the bottle. Because of the sheen, I can kind of guess that it would be a sweet style sauce. And then you can also see the great color and then some of the spices there. Aroma, I chose a bowl like this as kind of like a wine glass or any type of sifter that you would be smelling a cognac or a whiskey in, because I feel like the bowl, I can pull the sauce up the sides of the bowl, diffuse it a little bit, and then get a good aroma. And then I get to stick my nose right down in it. Initially, the main smell that you get initially is the smoke from the chipotle. You can smell the soy and the Worcestershire. And then on the back end, you smell a little bit of the ginger, some sweetness. And then you can also smell some of the citrusy notes from the orange extract specifically. It has a different flavor, or excuse me, different smell than what I would consider a juice. It kind of reminds me of orange peel or the zest of an orange versus orange juice. And it kind of, I mean, it has that typical Kansas City smell. that I would expect when smelling this style of barbecue sauce, and when I was cooking with it, you can really pick up some of the aromatics of the sweetness there as well. I'm gonna wait to give a aroma score until I finish tasting, because taste is primarily smell, and I feel like I may be able to pick up a few extra things after I taste it. So I'll start by taking a spoonful. The first thing in the taste you get is the sweetness. And then you can really taste the smokiness and the heat from the chipotle peppers. It's not an overwhelming heat. I think it's really well balanced with the style of sauce that we're going for here. And after tasting it, I can pick up more of the ginger, interestingly enough. I think for aroma, I'm going to give it a 7.5. And the reason I'm going with the 7.5 is because I feel like I'm missing a few of the smells of the ingredients in the sauce. I mean, it's blended very well, so it's not like they're not there at all. But I primarily am picking up the soy, the Worcestershire, and the smoke primarily. That's the initial, and then you get hints of the other things because you know they're there. So I'm going to move into flavor. I tasted the sauce there. Now let me taste it on the meat and see how that works. I coated the meat really well. I mean, it got really well in there. You can also see some of the char marks there. Let me get some to dip there a little bit. I almost feel I enjoyed the flavor of the sauce by itself, but I think that the sweetness is mellowed out after cooking. So I think I would probably lean towards cooking with it more than using it as a dipping sauce. Only because I find that, like I said, the sweetness, when you taste it alone, is one of the primary flavors that you're getting there initially. Sorry about that, guys. I made the typical YouTuber noob mistake of not checking your SD card before you start recording. So I was talking about the flavor and how as a dipping sauce, I found that it was the sauce itself, the main flavor that came out was the sweetness of the brown sugar, and maybe a little bit of that was due to the pineapple puree and the sugar as well. So for flavor, I'm going to give the sauce a 7 because I feel like it's better off as a cooking sauce instead of just as a condiment. So I think like I said, I believe if it didn't get cut out, the sweetness dies down a little bit when you cook it, and I think it's less sweet as a cooking sauce versus a condiment. So I'm going to go with a 7 on flavor. Heat, I'm going to give the sauce a 9. I feel like there is the perfect amount of heat. I mean, it could be a little bit. I think if it was a little bit hotter, it might have helped the sweetness a little bit as well. So I mean, for this style of sauce with the chipotle, it gives it a good smokiness. I think the heat level was adequate to where it went with the sauce very well. So I'm going to give that a 9. Overall product, I'm leaning in the direction of 8.5. To kind of recap, we have an 8.5, a 7.5, a 7, and a 9. And I feel like that the sauce itself, if you like a sweet sauce, it'll be really good as a condiment. I feel like you can cook with it extremely well. It goes really well with chicken. I feel like the consistency is right where it needs to be. The smells are right where they need to be for this style of sauce. And I feel like an 8.5 is a really strong number for this sauce. So overall, for Sweet Chipotle BBQ by Butch Taylor, the total score is a 40.5. That's a really high mark for the first sauce. So congratulations, Butch. We're going to see how things pan out. I feel really lucky to be a part of this Hot Sauce Underground group. I know I've had fun in the past making sauces for competitions, and I'm excited to be a part of this one as the guest judge. So we'll have more videos coming out soon, guys, and I'm glad y'all are here with me tonight, and I'll see you on the next one. Hope y'all have a great night.